So there's a real aspect to personal development that we all get addicted to, and that is partly knowing that we can go spiritual. What the hell does spirituality mean? What is that? What's soul? What's heart? What is all of this crap that people talk about? You know, if you're a coach, a speaker, an influencer, a thought leader, an intuitive, a healer, you're absorbed with understanding humanity. But it's not just understanding humanity, it's understanding heart and it's understanding soul. Because people want to get to another level. They're seeking, what are people seeking? What are people really seeking? They're seeking to be comfortable in their own skin. They're seeking to be loved by themselves. Alison, oh my God. Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you here. So Alison knows me from way back when I was in the film industry. She was in the film industry, and yeah, we had a lot of fun together. Making stuff and parties too. Gosh, that's back in my 20s. Yeah, good times. Alison, really good to see you. So, and look, this is part of the story, right? I was in the film and entertainment industry for over 30 years. I was chasing a dream, if you will. So this live is just going to be a little bit about me, about personal development, about, you know, get some popcorn, get a wine, get a cup of tea, whatever it is. Just sit back and relax for a little bit. I felt like having a little chat. Everything's about energy, right? So when I was in the film industry, what was it all about? For me, it was about understanding humanity on a much deeper level. Why? Well, I went through a lot of trauma as a kid. I really wanted to understand people. But what really got me involved was that the very first time that I got validation in school was because I did a theatre restaurant, which I accidentally fell into. And I had a main role, which, again, accidentally fell into. And then I swapped all my subjects from science, maths 1, maths 2, physics, all the stuff associated to become an architect, to become an actor. What? And that set me on a journey of consciousness, of understanding humanity. And the reason why I got into acting was because of a particular reason. When I was a kid, all I knew as a kid was that I wanted to help people. And when I got bullied throughout most of my young life and beaten up and assaulted and all of that, I was a shell of a kid. And going into the limelight was not something that I was looking for. I was actually trying to hide. I was hiding. I was under the radar. I lived a life quietly. I didn't hang around kids or peers at school. I liked to hang around adults more because they didn't pick on me. And the beautiful part to all of this is that I was on a journey where I spent most of my life living part of my dream, my happiness. I loved it. I loved it with every single bit of my heart and soul. I understood people and energy from a very organic place, what communication truly actually is, what blocking people is, what walls are around the heart, what being fake is, what wearing a mask is. I saw it all, I've been it all, I've felt it all. And going through healing, life is about healing. It's about coming to peace about you. What is healing, right? People, oh, what's this thing about healing? What healing? Just get on with it. The aspect of healing, what is that? It's actually about loving you. Yep. There is a book, The Body Keeps the Score, and the body does. The body does keep the score of your life. And if you don't come to a resolve with the score that your body has created, you actually create an energetic vibration that puts out into the universe, and then you get the same things happening to you, or the same people that come into your life, or the same ceilings that you keep bumping your head into, not breaking through, because there's a certain pattern there. And the whole healing aspect, there are elements to it. There are so many different ways to heal, right? Energy healing, all of that. Drama healing, essentially, that's kind of what I do with people, is take them through, the story of their life, heal aspects in seeing their life from another perspective, because that's all our memory is. It's just perspective. Our belief systems, our limiting beliefs, are just a perspective that we created. And the beautiful thing about understanding your story, coming to a courageous place of sharing your story, is that it offers vulnerability to other people to actually dive into personal development, to change their own lives by coming to peace within themselves and not living from a place of survival. And when I say survival, there's, you could probably get confused with, or thinking that survival is, you're just getting by, or, but what I mean by survival is that you're surviving to exist with a mask, creating a world around you that isn't truly who you are. So you're careful of the words that you say, you're careful of who you interact with and how you behave around them, rather than just being, right? One of the most interesting things about knowing a lot of creative people is that creative people, and that includes coaches, a lot of coaches are creative. A lot of coaches are creative, or have been in a creative part of life. And the reason for that is because a lot of creatives have been through a lot of trauma. They've been through a lot of challenges in life. And the arts is an ability to express. So creative people go into the arts to allow themselves to express their deeper lives, their deeper meanings, the things that they've got in their shadows, the things they haven't healed, and it's coming to peace with that. And one of the most powerful identities of people that I've ever come across that are so connected with themselves have been singers, actually. There are some amazing singers in the world, and some of the most powerful singers that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting and conversing with have been very forthright in who they are. Because they have to own their voice, right? Their voice is theirs. It has to come from them, from their heart, from their soul. They have to be their voice. It's not, they don't pretend to sing, right? And it's beautiful to witness. And they're very, there's all different areas. But some of the most powerful ones that I've ever come across, and it's just like thought leaders, some of the most powerful thought leaders that I've come across just know who they are, and they're happy with who they are, and they can express themselves from who they are because they love who they are, right? And I'm not saying all singers are like that, because a lot of artists have a lot of trauma most of the time, predominantly. and art is a avenue of sharing themselves, of expression. And if you can implement that into your life, if you can implement true expression of what's inside you to your partner, to a lover, to a friend, it especially a friend, right? I mean, I'm sure you've felt that experience before, right? Being with a friend where you can just share anything about you because you don't feel criticized or judged. So you can just share, right? One of those close friends. You know what I'm talking about. It's those people that allow us to be ourselves without the mask and just be. And that's magic. Can you imagine having a romantic relationship like that? Having that avenue where you can just be you, all of you, and love all of you. So I was listening to an amazing friend who was doing a live before, and he was talking a lot about spirituality and the depth of, he went to Peru and did ayahuasca, and he's an amazing coach. And he went on that experience of just understanding more about himself and the things that he desires, and he realized that, you know, he's a hugger, and I'm a hugger. I love hugs. I love being around people. I love touching people. I have a very small personal space. I don't really have a personal space. And you know, that's partly my European background. That's partly being in the film or entertainment industry, where you have to break through boundaries, right? Break through boundaries to be comfortable. Yeah, it's just like being in a relationship. You have to be comfortable in your own skin if you really want to have a highly dynamic, a highly passionate, a highly sensual, erotic connection with that partner, right? You have to be you. You have to feel safe to be you, to take yourself to another level. And you know, there's people that, you know, teach the tantric aspect of that's just breath and connection and being present. Right? It's actually really simple. And certainly on my journey, what I've recognized is, you know, I'm actually a really spiritual person. I love God. I love the universe. I love the Creator. I understand energy from a very organic place. And these avenues are just divine, right? Everyone has to have faith in something, faith in yourself, faith in your vision, faith in your desires, faith in being you is one of the most fundamental aspects. See, people go and do public speaking and share their story and things like that because they want to impact the world and they want to know just the right structure and the psychological aspect and you know, how do you make sales and all of that by telling your story. But the story isn't just about that. The story is actually a much deeper therapy if you allow yourself to go there. It's about self-awareness. It's about loving you more. It's about understanding you more. Because all of the questions that you have about yourself, all of the blocks that you have about yourself, they're all connected to your own story, to your own life, to your own existence. And one of the things, like I was in a relationship for the last 5 years and very spiritual, if not karmic. There was a lot of massive highs, massive lows. And there are avenues where, you know, embodiment is a powerful thing, a really, really powerful thing. And your embodiment is heart. Like you're going to say something, you keep that. You believe that. Sometimes things don't work out. Okay, great. So what? Keep moving forward. Have faith. And when you're in a relationship that is about spiritual expansion, it can be magic and it can be carnage. And that's exactly what I was going through. And I remember some of my clients a few years ago saying, Kane, what? Like, you're really spiritual. Why don't you ever say anything about it? And I was like, because I don't really, actually, I'm hiding from it. I don't really consider myself like that, even though everything is associated to it. But so I found out in a past life, I was burnt at the stake for being outspoken about spirituality. And in this lifetime, I had a fear about being outspoken about spirituality. So even when I was doing programs, designing programs 6 years ago, I was like, can't be spiritual, can't have woo-woo stuff, can't people freak out. People don't freak out about that. Some people just don't understand it, but I was freaking out about that. I had a concern about that. But everything is energy. Everything is spiritual. We're a spirit living in a human body. We've had many past lives. We've had many interactions with other people. And you would know this. You would notice this. There are kids that you have come across that you've said they're like an old soul, because they are. They've been here before. They know what's going on. And you're possibly that same old soul. You know what's going on. You know the aspects, and you're just trying to get back to your truth, trying to release the trauma of what happened when you were young, come to peace to your own self. You know, which peace at the end of the day is acceptance, it's forgiveness, it's self-love. But it's not just that, right? It's not just you. It's everyone else. It's love for everyone else, acceptance of everyone else, forgiveness of everyone else, peace for everyone else. No matter the dynamic, no matter how bad they are, it's irrelevant, because the aspect to the whole spiritual game, because it is a bit of a game, right? Life is a game. Spirituality is a bit of a game. It's about becoming more centered to you and the connection to your own self, and being authentic. You know, a lot of people go, oh, what's authentic? Or authentic, there's this buzzword of authentic. Well, authentic is just believing what it is that you're saying about who you are, and really owning it. You know, there's a really big difference of someone saying that I love you when they're expecting something back, and then someone saying I love you when they're a reflection of their own love. There's a big difference. There's a really massive difference. And if you've got children, you would understand that, because towards your children is just love. Like, you can't explain it. You don't even know how to like what that actually means, but there's this divine aspect that is forever, and you know it in your heart and soul, right? That you will always be there for them, no matter what. You will give your life for them, and you don't really know why. Just this love, this encompassing love. You would fight to the death. And when you have a partner like that, that's magical, right? When you're not trying to take their love, but you're just expanding their love by being the love, and knowing that doesn't matter what they do, you'll love them all the same, just like your children, right? There's still a respect. We all train our children to respect, to observe boundaries and values and certain rules and, you know, the aspects of living. Well, relationships are no different in learning about each other and understanding each other's values and boundaries and appreciating that person for where they've come from and what they have to appreciate in their own shadows, in their own existence, right? Because this is the whole dynamic of limiting beliefs. Whole bunch of entrepreneurs out there with limiting beliefs about holding themselves back, not being as big as they can be, not being the most vibrant self, not being themselves, not living in their purpose, doing the things that other people are telling them to do because it'll make money, and then getting exhausted going, oh, it's not what I actually want to do. Well, there's nothing more magical than doing the things that you love that make you happy. And that's a fact. I spent over 30 years doing just that. Loving my life. Yeah, it had ups and downs, big money, low money. So what? I loved it. Made me happy. Beautiful people, beautiful experiences. Yeah, that was living. I wasn't confining myself to what other people told me I should do. I decided that, no, I love this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to chase it. Here we go. Just like coaching, just like being a thought leader, just like being a healer, being an intuitive. You're doing it because there's an aspect in you that you have witnessed inside your own self, inside your own healing, to move yourself forward, to be a massive creation in the world, for the consciousness of the world. I mean, you've all got a message. You've all got stories, every single one of you. And it's your perspective. It's yours. It's your experience. That's the magic in it, right? Because you can only bring magic to yourself when you bring magic and love to who you are, who you really are. Because that's the energetic aspect. You know, a lot of people talk about abundance, manifestation. Well, manifestation is happening all the time. You're manifesting right now. You are. You say you want greater things, but there's a resistance subconsciously in the environment that you're in. It could be a relationship that is highlighting your deficiencies that makes you feel deficient. So you feel unworthy to ask for the things that you truly desire because you're holding yourself back, which then keeps your vibration lower, smaller, and you wear a mask because that's how you get by. But being your truth, being accepted for who you are. Because there's this dynamic with men and women, right? And the two of them working together are vibrant, magic, power couples. Why? Because true masculine and true feminine will highlight, like lighthouses, the beauty in each other. It's not about taking from each other. It's about amplifying each other as they are, acceptance of them as they are, their traumas, their history, their wounds, their challenges, their limiting beliefs, all of it. And knowing that I know all about you and I love all about you and I won't put you down. I will raise you up to be your best version so I can be my best version for you. So anyway, I just thought I'd do a little bit of a share. I felt inspired by someone. I felt inspired by someone who has reminded me of the love inside myself, that has reflected peace. And I have to admit, one of the most gracious things that you can ever give anybody is peace and acceptance, because that's all people want. I mean, it's like my clients in all of the work that we do together. The greatest thing is that they can share from a place of being completely accepted in who they are, no matter what. And that opens the door of vulnerability, that opens the door of healing, that opens the door of purpose. Because when you truly understand yourself, you truly see your purpose. Because purpose is just about you. It's not outside of you, it's inside of you. Your purpose is actually coming back to you, your heart, your soul center, and building from there the things that actually drive you inside of you, not the mask, not the survival aspect, not the must get validation and accolades to feel powerful. So yeah, I'm really happy. Just wanted to share a little bit about, me and spirituality, and that everything is energy and anything can be created from you. Any relationship can be expanded and evolved if the two people decide that it's a spiritual game, because it is. And you will get triggered, but it's appreciating those triggers and bringing love to the triggers that really creates a dynamic, and at the end of the day, truth. If you're a truth seeker, there is nothing more important than having truth in a relationship, and brutal truth, right to the very core, and not criticizing it, but acknowledging it and loving it, right? That's the power. That's the power of self. That's the power of vibration. That's the power of potential. That's the power of empowerment. That is the power of truth. Sending all my love. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.